Hello, today I'm going to share a practice that you can do during your cycle, your menstrual cycle, that can be kind of soothing to the nervous system. If you have any cramps or back pain, fatigue, this can also just be kind of a nourishing practice for your body. And if you're going through perimenopause, sometimes cycles can change. They can get heavier, they can get more crampy, they can get less crampy, they can get lighter. And so this can also just be something that you do when you're going through your the years where your cycle is maybe more regular. That's not true for everybody, depending on lots of things. Or when you're actively going through perimenopause and you're noticing changes in your cycle. So can be just a supportive way to support yourself, your nervous system, and your body as you go through a cycle. So I have a lot of props here, and if you have these props at home, great. And if you don't, great. You can use pillows, couch pillows, blankets. You don't have to use blocks. You can use pillows instead or different blankets to prop up the things. I'm going to show you some different variations. So these are all going to be more yin style or restorative style. So where we get into a shape and we hang out there for a few minutes. And I like to start and end with a child's pose variation. So you'll start with your bolster or your pillows or whatever you have in front of you. And then you can bring your knees to either side of it. So you're kind of straddling the bolster. And then you can lay onto the bolster like this. You can rest your hands, your face on your hands. You can rest your hands off to the side. And we'll stay here for a couple of minutes. You can allow your eyes to close. We'll stay in with the head facing one direction for a couple minutes, and then we'll have the head facing the other direction for a couple minutes. If that feels like a lot on your neck, if you've got some neck stuff and turning that much doesn't feel okay, you can also stack your hands and rest your forehead, or you can stack a blanket and rest your forehead. So we'll settle into that. And as you settle in here, see if you can breathe into your low back. Now, if that feels comforting and soothing, keep doing it. By breathing into your low belly, low back, that actually feels like it brings on more cramps or more discomfort, you can let that soften and you don't have to breathe so deeply into your low back. And then if it feels okay for your neck, you'll turn your head the other direction and you'll settle into the shape on that side. Seeing how much you can soften into the bolster. Soften your belly onto the bolster, your chest, your head. Just letting yourself feel fully supported as much as that feels possible in this moment. And then as you're ready, you can start to come on up, take your time. And then we're going to do a couple of twists. So I like to do the twist with the bolster a little bit higher, so it's not as intense. So I'm going to put one and then two blocks underneath. And so you want to just make sure the bolster is really supported. So if the bolster is not all the way on the ground and all the way on the blocks, it can feel a little wobbly and you might fall off, and you don't want that. So just make sure it's really stable on those blocks. And again, if you don't have blocks, you can put a couple of bigger pillows, stack some pillows underneath the bolster. And then you're going to sit up against the bolster. I'm going to sit with my left hip to start. I'm going to bring my hands to either side of the bolster and I'll lay down onto it. And for this one, we'll have just keeping the head facing the same direction as your knees. And you can soften your eyes. Since we're in these poses for a little while, sometimes an eye mask with a strap so you can stay inward and quiet can be nice as well. And as we're here for several breaths, a couple of minutes, just notice if there's any part of the body that's holding tight or tensing. And see if you can offer that body part. It might be your jaw or your shoulders or your belly. Just offer that part your breath. You're not trying to change it, make it different. And almost think of the breath as a way to befriend the body. Just to say, I'm here with you. When you're ready, you can push yourself up. You can always stay in these shapes quite a bit longer. Sometimes I'll fall asleep in them. So you can stay in them for 5 minutes, you can stay in them for 10 minutes, as long as it feels okay, as long as it feels okay. And then you'll turn around and you're gonna bring the other hip to the bolster. You can just let your knees kind of move off to the side. Hands come to either side of the bolster again and lay down, and you'll turn your head to the other direction this time. And you'll settle in to this shape for a few moments and minutes. And for some people, the mind gets quite a bit quieter during their cycle, and for some people it gets quite a bit louder. So if you're someone who enjoys quiet, or maybe enjoys the wrong word, you experience quiet, it may be enjoyable, it may not be, um, during your cycle, see if you can really drop into that quiet that for some people naturally comes during their cycle. And if you're feeling more, maybe you're feeling more agitated or more low, or the mind's more active, you can give the mind an anchor. And that can be many things. And for what I'll offer for today is it can be breathing in and breathing out. So it's just an anchor to the breath. When you're ready again, you'll push yourself up. And then we'll turn around and we're going to sit up against the bolster. And this is where some other props may be handy. I'm going to give you some other options. So we've gone from a forward bend to twist, and now we'll come into a gentle backward bend. So you can lay back onto your bolster. And again, I like having the props underneath the bolster because it makes the back bend a little more gentle. So when we're on our cycles, we don't necessarily want to be doing really kind of intense or going to our edges. We want to be more like gentle and tender and soft with our bodies. So um, if you want to have the bolster flat on the floor, you can. It's just a bit of a deeper back bend. So then from here, you can have your legs extended, or you can have your feet together and your knees open. Now, I like to put something underneath my legs so they have that sense of support versus more in like a yin shape where we kind of hang out in that stretch. So I give some extra support there for the knees. That can be blankets, that can be a couple of blocks, whatever you prefer. And if your hips just feel like that's too much, you can have your knees bent and let your knees rock together. So you find a place that feels right for your knees and your hips. Again, you can soften your eyes. And if it feels okay, see if you can bring your breath down into your low belly. You might even think about bringing it all the way down into your pelvis. And we're going to pause here. So if you want to stay a bit longer here, sometimes I like to end this going back to the child's pose shape that we started with. But you can decide. You can hang out here. You can notice just how your body responded to these different shapes. And and again, I find that for a lot of people, there's a tendency to or a desire to slow down during your cycle. So even as you transition out of this practice, see if you can go slow and mindfully and sweetly, because your body is going through a lot right now and it's doing a lot for you right now. Thanks for watching.